there is something to be said when you look at like the situation this Sunday, playing for the division title. We're flying across the country. Remember when we beat the Vikings and they had that little Honolulu Blue flu?
Yeah.
Well, they flew across the country to California and they got their ass kicked by a Rams team. Let's be honest, at that point, shouldn't have been the case at all.
Nope.
I mean, we know Stafford get hot every now and then, but like that shouldn't have been the case. Now we know what this Vikings team is. There's something to be said that for the Detroit Lions making that same flight after what ended up being a tough game and a short week for us too. But what are you supposed to do?
There's nothing you can do. Like you said, you can only sit 6 guys, you said. So
Yeah.
who gets the choice? Like, obviously,
Yeah.
Goff would be one of them. That's the number one. But I think that's a bad look for the players. Like, Dan Campbell, those guys wanted to win that game. Those guys wanted to play in San Francisco. They wanted to beat the 49ers. They wanted to get their revenge back, and they did. So, it was a good win. The defense, we're going to talk about that for sure. But
Yeah.
Anzalone, please come back this week. please, God. But they went out there and they took care of business on the West Coast. Shout out to Kirby Joseph, man.
Is there? I'm trying to think there's positives to take away. And obviously, a W is a positive. Like you're never going to be the good vibes. The vibes are up. I think if I had to pinpoint one thing, and possibly even a game ball, Jameson Williams.
Jameson Williams looked
I
good.
just think continue to develop that kid's like just confidence in himself, the team's confidence in him, including Jared Goff. Like he's starting to look like the number 12th overall pick.
Yeah.
I mean, 2 touchdowns in yesterday's game.
Should have been 3.
Could have been 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. J-Mo's becoming a dog.
I love J-Mo, man. He's electric, dude. He's the most explosive player in the NFL. You know, when you get the ball in his hands, good things happen, and we're seeing that consistently now, week in and week out. That he is one of the best playmakers on this team. So I'm excited to see him go out there and take care of business every week. And we saw him having fun out there. I was really happy. I was pretty drunk when we were sitting at the bar at the end of second best and everybody's clearing out, but I was watching J-Mo get interviewed by Scott Van Pelt, and it just made my heart warm. I was like, dude, this is awesome to see J-Mo up there.
Watch them all grow up.
Almost teared up a little bit.
Oh, you were wasted.
Oh, yeah.
No, man, he really is like all grown up. Like just sitting, like watching him up there with Scott Van Pelt. Like, that's like, has Jordan Addison done that yet? I don't think so. I'm just saying, like, he's not that caliber player. We're watching J-Mo step into becoming that caliber player, being recognized as that caliber player beyond just Detroit. Because Detroit, we knew what it was, and no one else did. I remember in the offseason, people were talking shit. That's why the whole Jordan Addison versus J-Mo thing, beef is a thing. It's not even a beef between them. It's a beef between the fan bases, because when we were hyped about our guy Jameson Williams getting his first, finally being able to stretch his legs and play like a full season after a full offseason with no suspension, no injuries. We're like, yo, here he comes. Like, he's killing it at training camp. And everyone, including fucking, what's his name? Pete Bukowski. Winning the jersey from, by the way. Yep. Text and remind him about that this week. Shout out. But we know he was coming. We know he's about to blow out and have this big-ass season. Everyone else is sleeping on it. Now he's getting interviewed by Scott Van Pelt. Now he's the 4th player, the first time in NFL history a team has ever produced 4,000 yards from scrimmage. Players.
Two running backs, two
wide receivers.
Yeah.
But the first time it's ever been 4.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was just the 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers.
No, first time it's been 4 players, 1,000 yards from scrimmage.
Damn. That's, yeah. I mean, we talked about, I was called a madman for saying this would be a historic offense in the pantheon of the NFL, especially if Jameson Williams does what he does. I was called a madman for saying Jameson Williams would have over 1,000 yards this year, and he's closing in on it. It's just fun to watch, man. He is electric, and like you said, he's growing up, and he's having fun. And I'm glad people are off his back. Like, he got a lot of slander, got a lot of hate,
even throughout this process too. Like of him showcasing some of his skills. Yeah, getting hate.
I'm glad to see him out there and take care of business.
Yeah. You see it in these big matchups. I mean, you cannot tell me for a second that wasn't San Francisco's Super Bowl. I mean, the way Withers was headhunting on like all those big hits that he was laying, like that was a crazy game. But J-Mo has
you were
that
hating
game.
on that dude.
He was hella aggressive, dude. He was trying to hurt our guys, dude. He hurt his own. He hit Nick Bosa, I think. But yeah, no, it's just the X factor of Jameson Williams, and it's just speed kills. I mean, you saw Brad Holmes use resources in the first round from 2 guys that went to Alabama, Jahmyr Gibbs and Jameson Williams. And those are 2 of the fastest players in the entire NFL. And J-Mo expanding the field opens things up for a guy like Jahmyr Gibbs to get a little bit more space. And I think this offense is so elite because of that. And you can't give Brad Holmes enough credit.
Our guy One Bar is on.
Minnesota Vikings content creator, One Bar, holding it down for a squad. Your room looks sick, by the way.
Yeah, it's dark in here, man. It gets lonely. It's a good beer drinking room. Sometimes I forget to leave, and that's okay. And my family wonders where I am, and I don't care. It's just fine. Hey, no olive branch needed, man. This is nothing but love here. I love you guys' show. And in fact, all the Lions creators, they're my favorite. The Dos of Dion's, the Micro Mikes, you guys, like, I love it, man. I love Lions fans. It's funny. We've been seeing a lot coming in our comments, too. And we're not used to that. So, and I say more the merrier, baby.
Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, we get a lot of Vikings fans in our chat for sure, going crazy. We love having you on the show, man. Appreciate you joining us. And we just got to get down to the brass tacks. Like, this is a playoff game before the playoffs. Everything on the line. The number 1 seed in the NFC North Championship in Ford Field, Lions, Vikings. How are you feeling going into this matchup?
Man, I mean, you guys have kind of owned us the last, what is it? I should have looked before it. What are we, like 1-4 the last 5 times we've played you guys? So, I mean, any Vikings fans saying they think this is going to be an absolute easy victory or we're going to win this game, they're full of crap. Nervous, very, very nervous. And I was watching Dan Campbell today talk about, like, getting all hyped up. Like, this is football, both 14-2, going for the North, going for the number 1 seed. I mean, I can't think of a Vikings game that has been this important, and Lions, I'm sure that it's the same thing in recent memory. Like, I am stoked, and at the same time, I'm horrified. A late night game, a 7:20 game on Sunday. Regardless of what the outcome is, I will not sleep that night, and Monday will be pointless.
Yeah, this game would be the first time in NFL history 2 14-win teams have met in the regular season.
And one's walking away the 5th seed.
And that's the wildest part about this. I mean, you guys. I love you, One Bar, but how annoying are you to the Detroit Lions? This is our best season in franchise history, and then here you guys with Sam Darnold, just dragging along and tying us in the record. What is going on, man?
Sam Darnold, man. Sam Darnold has made me look like an idiot. I mean, coming into the season, I projected the Vikings to get 7 wins. I said maybe 8. So this is crazy. I mean, I've just been along for the ride this entire time. And there was a few Vikings fans. A lot of Vikings fans are delusional, and I love them for it. And I'm fairly delusional myself. But some of them were projecting like 13 wins on my show, and like, you guys are nuts. So like, it's been a fantastic season. I love the fact that we beat the Packers last week. We swept the Packers this year, just like you guys did, which is beautiful. For it to come down like this, it's like hot shit. And you know what? Whoever loses, it's like the Bucks. I mean, come on, it's basically a first round bye anyway.
Yeah, they make me. I'm nervous about the Bucks.
I'm nervous about the Bucks. Already beat us in Ford Field this year.
I'm nervous too. I just won't admit it.
That was kind of a fluke game, though.
Yeah, we had 400 yards of offense. I think they had like just over 200 or something like that.
Yeah.
But Sam Darnold, man, I correct me if I'm wrong. From my point of view, he started off as like a Kevin O'Connell puppet, disciple, whatever you want to say. A guy just running through like the offense. I feel like these past couple of weeks from that Seattle game on, he's kind of like stepped to like another tier, another level, like where he's just like making amazing throws to those amazing wide receivers. Has Sam Darnold gotten better throughout the season? Is this the same Vikings team we saw earlier in the year?
It's not the same Vikings team. I mean, the way they've been winning, every game is close. And even if we're playing shitty-ass teams or great teams, it's going to come down to the last second. There's no doubt about that whatsoever. But Darnold, like, he's at another level. It's crazy, and it's crazy to even say that out loud. And at this point, like, Vikings fans and Vikings media, it's like if the Vikings don't bring him back, it would be more of a surprise than just going with J.J. McCarthy next year, even if it's just a franchise tag or whatever. But Sam Darnold had a little bit of a lull in the middle of the season where he had 2 back-to-back just horseshit games, but he's just forgotten about it, and the dude has been dialed in. I will say, on Sunday, he will have at least one throw that will make you think of Sam Darnold as the Jets. He does it every week. He did it last week against the Packers. He will throw an ugly throw. It's just a matter if you take advantage of it or not. But Sam Darnold has been the man. As far as being a different team, there's 2 big differences for this game. Is the first game we didn't have Blake Cashman, which has been absolutely a monster on this defense. He is this defense. and TJ Hawkinson. So those are the biggest differences as far as the first time we played you.
Those are big differences.
Those are pretty big
damn it.
differences.
Oh, man.
I'm looking at this defense and the revamped Vikings defense. You got Andrew Van Ginkel that comes in here, and he's having a hell of a season. Grenard is having a great season as well. What has Brian Flores been doing with this defense that has caused these guys to have so much success?
Just crazy ass looks, man. I mean, he'll bring 7 up on the line, and all of a sudden, all 7 of those puppies are dropping back in coverage. He's bringing the house. He's continuously rotating guys in. Hottie Ward, a defensive lineman, just a journeyman, is making plays. Harrison Phillips is making plays. But this defensive line is very unsung. You look at the guys on this line, and you see like Jonathan Bullard and Jerry Tillery, and it's like, oh my God, these guys suck ass. They're not gonna do anything. But they got some substance to them. They're getting it done. We're very good against the run. And this free agency class that Kwesi, the GM, brought in has just been absolutely insane. Kwesi has had some very suspect drafts, but his free agencies have been crazy. And the key to this defense and the key to Brian Flores' defense is to get to the quarterback, make him uncomfortable before he has time, because our secondary is old as balls. I mean, you got Griffin and you got Gilmore back there, and Harrison Smith, who's still playing decent. If you get in time, and especially with Jared Goff, which scares me, with his accuracy, completion percentage, he's going to do some damage. Last week, Jordan Love was getting time. He just was playing like Jordan Love, which is horrible, and
Jordan
he was missing
Love
throws.
sucks.
I hate Jordan Love more than anything in the world.
Yeah.
The guy that's been like most interesting to me is Josh Metellus, man. Like, I've tuned in a couple Vikings games. That guy's been at defensive tackle,
he does
to
everything.
linebacker, to safety. That guy, I mean, whatever Brian Flores got going on with him is wild beyond I think any defensive coordinator's imagination. Is he just that? Like, is he good? Like, what's going on with that? That guy is freaky.
He's an unsung hero. He's Flores' little utility knife. He pretty much does anything he asks him to, whether he's in getting a sack, whether he's back in coverage at safety, whether he's in the slot. He is a very sneaky player. You will see 44 up at the line quite a bit. We'll play 3 safeties out there with Metellus, Cam Bynum, and Harrison Smith. But Metellus, again, he's a guy that probably a lot of people who aren't Vikings fans even know who the hell he is. But you'll see him out there. He'll be making plays.
What is his natural position? Linebacker?
He's drafted safety from Michigan.
Wow.
And then he was just, I mean, I think he rode Pine for damn near the first 2 years. Then Zimmer got a hold of him, and he did all right. And then Flores has been having a blast with this guy. So Harrison Smith probably retiring next year. It'll be interesting to see what they do with Metellus. Do they bump him back to just be a natural safety, or to just keep him as a little toy here? That's if Flores is back.
I want to squeeze one more defensive one, too, because I had high hopes for this guy, or at least I had high expectations, not hopes, because he became a division opponent. But Dallas Turner, I thought he was going to be turning stuff up this year, and I get that he's a rookie, but what's been the story with him this year?
It's funny. I mean, Vikings fans are all. I mean, I think he played about the first quarter of the first week, and everyone's like, he's a bust. He sucks. Why did we do that? Honestly, it comes down to Jonathan Grenard and Andrew Van Ginkel playing their asses off.
That makes sense.
He hasn't had a chance to see the field for how good these guys have been playing. And you know what? It's a good problem. When he's been out there, he's done all right. I think he's got 3.5 sacks, maybe, and a pick. But he just hasn't seen the field. His snaps were extremely limited for the first half of the season. Patrick Jones went down last week after a dirty-ass play by their tight end. So Dallas Turner, 15, you'll probably be seeing a handful of him this week. But when he's out there, he looks good. I mean, he looks like a rookie at times, but he looks good.
And you mentioned it earlier. I did want to get back to it a little bit. The Sam Darnold, J.J. McCarthy situation. Like, Sam Darnold is playing like a top 5 quarterback so far this year, and he's not under contract. You obviously just drafted J.J. McCarthy in the first round to kind of be your guy of the future. Do you want to see them go with Sam Darnold? Do you want to see them pay Sam Darnold a big, lucrative contract? Or, like, what do you do with J.J. at that point?
Yeah, it's $1 million question. I mean, if you were to ask me even like 3 or 4 weeks ago, I'm just like, you know what? They got a plan for JJ. If they can do this with Sam Darnold, just imagine what they could do with a JJ McCarthy. After that Packers game, I've completely flipped. It's like you got to bring Darnold back at some capacity. For me, a perfect case scenario is you franchise him, which I think is like about $41 million. See what he does next year. See if he can double down and do this again. And then you deal with the dilemma of what you do with J.J. McCarthy, because McCarthy got hurt. The dude is so young. I don't even know if he's 23 yet. I think he might only be 21. Anyways, you got plenty of time with McCarthy. You have to franchise Darnold. You can't move on from the guy. and let it go. I don't want them to sign him to a 3-4 year deal right now and just blow their load. But you have to. You got to bring him back. How do you not bring him back? The dude's been fantastic. Love or hate the Vikings, Sam Darnold's been the shit.
Yeah, especially after, like you said, after that Packers game, what they did in the locker room, like his team is around him. I feel like if you don't bring him back, that would be a huge blow for the locker room for sure.
I mean, Jared Goff's having his best year. The same thing. You turn around, Sam Darnold is right there, just behind him. It's crazy. I guess he was drafted number 3 overall.
I love it, man. I love a good under. I want a Disney movie made of Sam Darnold someday, man. I'm trying to think of who's a famous ginger actor. Like, it would be beautiful. It would be beautiful.
Ed Sheeran could play him.
They could just have the guy from Incredibles, Syndrome.
He does look like Syndrome.
Just reuse that character design. He pretty much looks like Sam Darnold.
Darnold Goff, baby, this week. I can't wait for this game. I want to go to the store and just get like about 6 bottles of NyQuil, and when I wake up the next day, I just want to slam it. Next day, slam it, and I want it to be Sunday.
I'm with you on that one, man. I gotta ask too. So going into this matchup a little bit, did Aaron Jones not finish that game Sunday? What's going on with him?
Nah, he's good. He's good to go. He was in and out. It was like he had his thigh wrapped up. He's good to go, and we're gonna need him. We're gonna need him bad. I think the first time we played him, he almost got 100 yards. But we're going to need to pound the ball. But he's good to go. Kevin O'Connell already came out and said he's golden.
Okay. And then the Minnesota Vikings 14-2, very good team. But what are their insecurities? Where do they lack where the Detroit Lions can take advantage of them and hopefully win this game?
You know, the first time Jared Goff kind of tore us a new one as far I think he maybe had 2 or 3 incomplete passes. I'm fully expecting that again. Our secondary will just continue to be an issue until it's addressed. They're not a complete liability, but when you got time, you guys are going to get open. So that is definitely going to be an issue. But our interior offensive line is one of the biggest weaknesses probably in the NFL. I mean, last week we did hold up against the Packers fairly well, and I know you definitely got some injuries on your defense, which will help our offensive line look better. But that will be the biggest issue. If you start getting to Sam Darnold, if we don't get that run game going, it's going to be bad. But, I mean, our offense is stacked, just like the Lions. The Lions' offense is stacked. I expect a crap ton of points in this game, basically because our defense is as good as Brian Flores has been, as good as some of these players have been, our defense will give up some points.
And we got James in the Woodward Sports Chat. He wanted to ask you if you thought the locker room celebration against the Packers was over the top.
Hey man, if they beat the Packers twice and the chance to get to the NFC number 1 seed, shit, they could have had real champagne out there. They could have had the World Series style, putting the saran wrap around the lockers and popping bubbly. Was it over the top? Yeah, maybe. If it wasn't anybody but Sam Darnold, just the fact that story alone is just so awesome. Like Sam Darnold, I mean, not everybody, but he's such an easy guy to root for. It's such a great story. It's like, hell yeah, lift him up. I don't care if it was week 1 against the Browns. Lift that dude up every week. I don't care. Over the top, probably, but I loved it.
Yeah, I mean, it just shows that how much the team loves him, how much they respect what he's doing. And you have to, as a football fan, if you hate the Vikings or not, you got to respect what Sam Darnold's doing. He's revitalized his career, and he's really showing the talent that he got him. He was, the 3rd pick of the draft. So he's out there proving it. And Kevin O'Connell, man, that guy is a monster.
He's a beast.
Yeah, I love what he's doing. I mean, he's making it a destination kind of point for especially offensive players, quarterback. I mean, you see Daniel Jones. I mean, it's easy to say, oh, who cares? Daniel Jones sucks. But it's like he had an opportunity to go to multiple teams, and to see like a guy like that come here and be like, hey, maybe KOC can do something for me. It's just great. Kevin O'Connell he's been fantastic. I locked that dude up. You guys got Dan Campbell, Kevin O'Connell. Those guys will be going at it for years.
Yeah, imagine having Matt LaFleur as your coach.
yeah, exactly.
Did you see? I don't know if you watched any of that Vikings game. I've never seen a coach whine and cry.
He was crying the
and
whole time.
He hit like a meme. He was like, "What?"
Yeah.
And it's the best. He was whining after his players were dropping balls. It's just, it was great. I loved it.
Yeah, I hate the Packers so much, and I hate Matt LaFleur. So
yeah, I hate Matt LaFleur.
That was good to see.
Got nice hair. Dude's got nice hair.
I respect him. He's got nice eyebrows, but don't like him.
He does he probably gets groomed. Like, you know, he looks like a guy that gets.
Dude, yeah,
he's fully waxed, 100%.
I'm pretty sure I heard that he goes like twice a week or once a week to get his hair and eyebrows done. I mean, that's why
they're going to be bounced.
You guys did get lucky that one offsides. That was kind of crazy, huh?
Yeah, but there was some gross calls the whole time, back and forth. But we did get very lucky. Will Reichard, man, our kicker needs to pull his head out of his ass next week against you guys. I know that we can't afford any missed field goals. That is no. I'm not overly concerned, but we got to score some. We can't miss field goals.
Yeah, he started the season so well that since the injury, he just kind of. I only know because I had him in fantasy. I'm like, this kid's fucking. Yeah. This kid's it. And then
he's been dialed in, and then. Last week it was brutal. I did see a picture of your kicker. Looked like he was making love to trying to make babies with the field there. That got me very, very excited and uncomfortable at the same time.
Yeah, it was the vinegar strokes from Jake Bates there.
When a roommate's home, you know, you look quiet.
It's funny because like he's a super like religious guy. He's super like just a super quiet dude and. They played that video like 4 times
for no reason. There was no reason to be showing the kicker.
There's no context to it.
Yeah,
he was just stretching, and you heard Aikman and Buck laughing about it. Like,
that's wild.
Yeah.
All right, man.
That's what I used to do.
I know
too.
It's New Year's Eve. I want to allow you to enjoy your night. Let's get your some of your final predictions, and then also let the people know where they can find One Bar. I see you on the NFC North shows too.
Head over just One Bar Lupagus show. I guarantee if you search that, we'll be the only ones that show. But come Sunday, man, it's gonna be honestly, it's a coin flip for me. And if you guys were healthy, I would just give it to you. The Lions are the better team on paper. If you guys are definitely healthy, we saw that the first time we played you guys. But it's gonna be a lot of points. I'm feeling better. Just based off of, I know the Niners game was a small sample, but like Brock Purdy thrown for that many yards. I don't even think the Niners punted. Nope. It's almost and Jared Goff seemed to have played like your offense played like a damn near a perfect game.
Yeah, and
I think that's going to have to happen again. Like you guys are going to have to play another perfect game on offense, which is definitely doable. But I think Sam Darnold is I think he's gonna eat a little bit here, and I think our receivers are gonna eat a little bit, and I think TJ Hawkinson is gonna get his. I want him to go after those linebackers. I know you got some issues going on there, so I think a lot of points. I think it will definitely be close regardless of who wins. But I'm seeing like 37-34, and there's no way in hell I'm not gonna pick the Vikings because I wouldn't be able to sleep tonight. But it could go either way. Either way. One other thing I'll say is Gibbs scares the living hell out of me.
Oh, he's so good.
I know Montgomery, you guys probably want him there, but Gibbs, the fact that he's your number one back and he tore us a new one the first time, like him getting the ball 15 to 23 touches or something, that's going to be a big issue for our defense, man. That screen pass scares the hell out of me.
Matt, I appreciate you stopping by, joining the show. Drink a beer for us, man.
Yeah, Happy New Year, man. Appreciate you joining us as always.
Happy New Year to you guys. I'm going to drink 12 beers for you. Spencer, I know it sounds like you might be a little hungover.
Yeah.
I'm going to have a couple just for you, man. Enjoy that workout, buddy.
Hey, I appreciate it, man. Thanks for joining us as always, dude.
Take care, guys.
Thank you, brother.
Dude. Hands down the coolest Vikings fan.
Yeah.
Easily. Not even close.
He's such a
great
nice dude. Yeah.
He said Matt LaFleur is probably totally waxed. I like that he hates the Packers as much as I do too.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Bears were always, and I still hate the Bears. Don't get it twisted.
I hate the Bears too.
But it's never been good enough to like.
I've never hated the Vikings. We talked about that. I've never really hated the Vikings. I hate the Packers.
We will. Don't you let that come out.
We
hate them this week.
Hate the Vikings this week.
Fuck the Vikings this week.
Yeah.
Love One Bar though.
One Bar's the man.
Shout out to Matt.
Let's go to break. We'll come back and we'll talk some more Lions. We'll talk about that defense that One Bar was talking about.
Man, oh man.
They got abused by Brock Purdy and Ricky Pearsall last night. That was not good to see. But they're going to have to make some adjustments because it's not Ricky Pearsall this week. It's Justin Jefferson. So that's